everybody, welcome to this channel. This channel is going to be for the brand that I am in the process of building, and I wanted to film this video and all of these videos showing you guys the process of how I'm going to build this business. And I don't know all the answers yet. I am definitely figuring things out as I go, but I wanted to share this process with you, share the process of building an e-commerce brand and a business with you guys, delivering a product that I care about and that I create to customers and people who care about the brand that I'm going to build. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you find it informative, and definitely subscribe to this channel to stay updated on every step of this process as I go through it, as I figure things out, as I fail, as I succeed at things. And yeah, just come along with me for the journey, and hopefully the outcome is something that I'm really proud of, and it's going to be a brand that does good and delivers really high quality products to people that are really going to appreciate them. So I want to tell you first off a little bit about this brand, a little bit more about what I want to build here and why I'm doing this. So this brand is going to be called Arete Supply Company, and Arete is a Greek word, and my inspiration for that is from Aristotle. He used the term arete, and it's translated most frequently to excellence. And it's the idea that in each and every thing, in each and every person and animal, and even inanimate objects, that there is this plane of excellence, that there is this best way of being and most fruitful way of just being. So arete to me means for each and everything it has a different highest good, it has a different highest level of excellence. So what my highest level of excellence and what I would expect of myself in succeeding the most would be very different from yours, and it should be, and that goes, for each and everything. And I think about arete a lot in my everyday life. I think that for each and every person and each and everything that I encounter in the world, to achieve its highest form of excellence, its highest good, is for that thing to be fulfilled and doing kind of what it's supposed to be doing. Not that that is a set thing, but I want to use the term arete in my brand because I want to make a very concerted effort in each and every step of this process and each and every decision that I make in building this brand to have it be of the highest good, to have it be excellent, and not just the product that I'm putting out, but the way that it impacts the world and the people who are making the product and the people who buy the product and interact with my brand and gain inspiration in that way. So I want this to be a very holistic venture into business and into capitalism in a very mindful and thoughtful way, that I don't want to impede upon anybody else's or anything else's journey to achieve their own arete, their own highest good. And by that I mean I want this brand to be environmentally friendly. I want it to be carbon neutral, the supply chain and shipping products to people, producing them. I want to not impede upon the environment and this planet of ours opportunity to be in its highest good, which would be unpolluted by our capitalistic ventures. But I also want to have this brand not impede any workers, anybody who's involved in the process of creating this product. I want them to be treated fairly and be paid and compensated as they should be for the work that they're doing. And I have a few ideas of how I want to accomplish that. I think that I'm going to pursue, for right now, manufacturing in the United States, possibly Europe, just because we have these fair labor standards and laws in that sense, so that I can guarantee, at least while I'm first starting out, that all of my workers are being at least treated that base level of they're getting what our government has considered fair wages. And if I can, I want to add on to that. And I'll talk a little bit about that when I'm discussing what I want this to look like as far as from the consumer's perspective. So I want this brand to be incredibly holistic. Like I said, I want it to be something that is a force for good instead of a force for just profit. I'm not necessarily concerned with having the hugest bottom line and making huge profit margins. You know, this is going to be a business. It's not going to be a nonprofit. So it is going to make some profit, but I'm going to try very hard, and it's definitely a goal of mine to not have that be the one driving force. I think that a lot of businesses, almost every single business that we encounter in this modern capitalistic world that we live in, is driven by profit. And obviously a lot of companies have shareholders, and coming to them and say, we grew our revenue, we grew our profit margins by this much, that's what everybody expects. But a lot of the times that growth is unsustainable, and it's harmful to the environment, to the workers that are actually doing the hard work involved in building a business and building profit margins. So I don't want that to be my one driving factor. Like I said, it is going to make some profit, but I want to use that profit to do good, and I don't want that profit to come from a means that I don't agree with and that I can't get behind. So in this sense, I don't think the means would ever justify the ends. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very inspired by philosophy. I was a student of philosophy in college. I was privileged enough to be able to go to school and study philosophy. So that's definitely a huge source of inspiration for me, and it's going to inform this brand as I build it and as it grows. And I hope that you guys appreciate that. And I hope that I can find the right niche of people who are going to be all about that. And I think that I can. But for right now, a little bit about where I am at in this process. I definitely have had this as an idea that I wanted to pursue in kind of the back of my mind. I was kind of putting it on the back of the table as far as wanting to actually take action and accomplish it and build this business as soon as possible. I was thinking that now wasn't the right time. I didn't have the resources. I don't have very much resources, but I'm going to turn later on in this journey to Kickstarter crowdfunding, and I really hope to be successful in that, so that revenue and at least the startup profits that I need, or the startup money that I need right now, isn't going to be what stops me from doing this. So basically, now's the time. There's never a perfect time to do anything, but I'm pushing myself. Now's the time. Why wait? So that's where we're at, and I got to that conclusion a couple months ago, and I started out by, okay, so I'm completely new to this. I have a little bit of experience with importing products. I have a little bit of knowledge about that. That's kind of what I work with my job. I work for a freight company. So I do have a little bit of that knowledge about the industry and that aspect of things. But I guess the first thing that I did was research vegan materials, the vegan materials that I'm going to use to build my products. And vegan, of course, because I don't want to impede upon any animal, any creature's pursuit of their own arete, their own excellence, and their right to life. So this is going to be a vegan brand, and my first product is going to be a vegan leather bag. It's going to be a messenger bag style product, and So I got on the internet. Google is your best friend in building a business, you guys. There's so many fantastic resources out there, and obviously on YouTube as well. But I just typed in vegan leather and I started from there, and I guess I learned that a lot of vegan leathers are made of polymers of plastic materials, and obviously those do not biodegrade, and they have a pretty hefty impact on the environment in their production, using oils and things like that to produce those materials. So I wanted to stray away from that, obviously. So I began researching further down that line of more biodegradable vegan leather materials, things that are made of more natural materials. And I came to this brand that I'm going to be working with, and I have all these fabric samples in front of me, you guys. These are samples of vegan leather material that this company has sent me. This leather, this vegan leather, is made from cactuses. So it's a completely renewable resource. The company is located in Mexico, and they don't even cut down the cactuses to harvest the material that they need for this process, because they just let the cactuses continue to regrow. They take, they call it like a haircut to these cactuses. So hopefully these cactuses get to achieve their arete. So that's kind of obviously the thread that I'm trying to weave throughout this entire business. So this just seemed like a really great fit for me. So I reached out to them, I ordered these samples, and I have them picked out. I'm going to go with one color for my first bag, keep it very simple, and just have that be manufactured just one color of this one bag to begin with, to keep it simple for myself and to make it so that the crowdfunding is something that is going to be achievable at an achievable level and not way out in space, because the more colors of something you do, the more of them you have to order, obviously, the more cost of production. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm really happy that I found this material. I, from there, reached out to, I knew that I kind of needed to get a designer for my product. I'm not a graphic artist. So I knew that I needed to get a designer for this product that I wanted to make. I'm not a graphic artist, as hard as I try, but it's called, technical term here, it's called, when you're wanting to produce something, the spec sheet is called a tech pack for a piece of apparel or clothing or something like that, like I'm trying to make. And so what I did was I got into Upwork. It's a fantastic website for freelance work, if you guys have never heard of it before. And I didn't know to go to Upwork, by the way, right away. Just in doing my research and trying to figure out where I could hire a designer to make this tech pack, this pattern that I needed, was definitely just the research. So I hopped onto Upwork, I posted my job, and I had this wonderful woman reach out to me and give me a proposal for the work that I wanted to have done. And she seemed like she knew what she was talking about, so I went with it, and she did, and she delivered. So right now I have a tech pack of my product that I can now give to manufacturers, to factories, and they can hopefully have a better idea of what I'm wanting to produce. And the next step for me is getting a prototype made, getting that first sample of this product, and going from there, and researching and better developing the product after that, after I have a sample in hand. So that is definitely the big goal that I'm working on right now. That is the next milestone ahead of me as far as building this business goes. So in order to achieve that, obviously you have to reach out to manufacturers and factories, and I definitely, again, have no idea what I'm doing here, and not all factories are getting back to me, because I obviously sound like a complete beginner, but you can't let that stop you. You have to just go for it. Some will get back to you, and some will help you if you ask questions, even though they probably aren't impressed with me. But that's where I'm at right now. I found another website through my research that is kind of a network to connect you with factories and manufacturers. It's called Maker's Row, and it's just a monthly fee. I paid like $35 for a monthly membership, and I can search now factories that specialize in working with leather and leather material and accessories and handbags and things like that, so that they've had prior experience working with the material and producing products similar to the ones that I want to produce. So you can be very specific in your search, and that's what I'm trying to do. I've reached out at this point where I'm at to several factories, several manufacturers, more than that actually. Like I said, not all have gotten back to me, but that's just the name of the game. Several have. I've had some great conversations with some. I've found some factories that are willing to source and kind of take a bigger hand in the manufacturing process than others. For example, this bag is obviously going to need to have zippers and hardware and things like that, strap adjusters, so pieces of metal hardware that are going to have to be in addition to just the vegan leather material, and that is a whole nother sourcing journey on itself. That's a whole nother step of reaching out to manufacturers. So we're going to need hardware for this bag. It's going to need lining, like a cotton lining on the inside is what I'm hoping for and what I'm wanting to achieve, and kind of a handful of other materials. So I found a factory that is willing to source all of these materials for me and kind of make it easy in that sense, but we'll see what the price tag looks like for that. So I'm just going to have to be evaluating my options and really doing my research along the way and asking the questions that I think I need to ask. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That is to catch you guys up on this process so that you can follow along as I build this brand and have it be something that I'm really proud of and that is hopefully successful in the ways that I want it to be successful. So I encourage you guys to subscribe, like I said, give this video a thumbs up so other people can see it, and definitely follow me also. I'm going to make an Instagram for my brand. I'm going to start taking pictures of these samples up close and things like that so you guys can really get in on the nitty-gritty details of the decisions that I'm going to be making and my path forward as I build this e-commerce business. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited for the next steps in this process, and I hope that you guys want to follow along as I figure it out.